All right, hold on here. All right, did
Good
you guys get
evening.
the? Oh, hi. Good evening, and welcome to Dad Bods, Crab Cakes, and Sports, where I hope John will be editing the intro to this thing, as we weren't aware that we were getting started yet. So, John, make sure you fix that. But thank you for joining us at a special time tonight. We wanted to do a quick Ravens preview before the game tonight. I know myself, I've been watching a lot of Red Zone today. Mike, I'm not so sure. Did you have much time to watch football today, or were you rearing children?
Yeah, they were weird. I did some of the Steelers game and Jets. I saw a couple minutes on my phone in between what we were doing today. But no, I'm excited about the NFL season. I've been watching on my phone updates, but I haven't seen too much live football today. But curious what you guys have seen thus far. Not to get into it too quickly, but any surprises so far this afternoon?
You want to know what I've seen so far that surprised me? Thursday night's game with the weather delay, and apparently there's another weather delay going on. Like, it's funny to me. It's like you don't think about it. You're just like, oh, whatever. But it's like I think the NFL is really taking this like a safety precaution on like any lightning anywhere in the area, whatever. And I know that's not what you were hoping I'd say. I'm just saying, to me, it's just weird that I'm like, oh, how do we have two weather delays? I'm used to baseball and weather delays, but not much there. Really, just a lot of competitive games. Like the early slate, everything came down. There were like 4 or 5 games that really came down to 1 or 2 possessions. It was really interesting so far. Nothing jumping off like too surprising, except for the Colts. The Colts really seemed like they dominated earlier today. That's really my only surprise, John. Is there anything that you saw that stood out to you?
Not really. I didn't get a chance to really watch any games. I was spending the afternoon with my kids and taking them to the pool and stuff, and just kind of watching the same thing on my phone. But yeah, that Colts Miami game really kind of threw me for a little bit of a loop, considering the Colts quarterback situation and everything else. And then of course I get Tyreek Hill, and he only gets like 6 points. So that really kills me. But that was the only one that really like shocked me. Everything else seemed like, just based on what I read in the scores, very competitive games. Nothing, no blowouts, nothing, anybody leaving early.
Yeah, I always find it hard at the beginning of the season to figure out what the heck's going to happen. Like I do some FanDuel bets, and they never pan out. But I think it takes a couple weeks to get a feel for the season. The one game I think that was a little interesting was I didn't think that Vegas necessarily would be able to go up to New England and win. But the Pete Carroll, Geno Smith Raiders start 1-0, which is pretty interesting on the road there in New England. I thought Vrabel would have the defense rip roaring ready, and they play well enough to give up only 20 points, but their offense seems a little bit behind the curve there. So that was the only one today so far that really surprised me, besides, like you said, Jason, the Colts and Miami game being such a differential in points.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now Miami, if you're Mike McDaniel, you're just worried that you're not going to be the first NFL head coach fired this year. I mean, honest to God, like after that type of showing, oh boy, I just don't know how they turn it around. It's just like everything just looked bad, like everything they did. And I know you guys didn't have a lot of time to watch it, but the little bits and pieces I watched, like nothing went well for Miami. And it's so. I mean, I heard a lot of grumblings from a lot of the people I follow, and that is their prediction was that he would be the first one fired probably before week 12. And I mean, if things could keep going like that, absolutely. But as far as, I mean, the New England and LA thing, or I'm sorry, the Raiders thing for me, Mike, it was everyone's, once Carroll came in that building, everything changed. Their attitudes changed. Everything changed. Not just the players, the entire organization. So for me, it didn't surprise me too much, but they're still a young team, right? So that's the part that surprised me. But you have a veteran quarterback that's done it before. You have a veteran head coach that's won a Super Bowl and multiple NCAA championships. You have a lot of veteran guys in different spots there. And if I'm New England, though, and I'm a New England fan, I'm still very encouraged about Drake May and different things. I wouldn't go jumping off any bridges anytime soon, but just know that this is still a rebuilding year. You're still in that rebuilding thing because it didn't get to start next year. Once you bring in a new head coach, everything starts over. So, John, for me, like just thinking of, because I have a lot of friends that are Patriot fans, and I do see them potentially being a problem in the next couple of years, just maybe not this year.
Yeah, and you see this a lot with like the younger players and things when you're getting a new system, when they always talk about, well, what was, this person came into the league with such high expectations, and then what happened? Well, they went through 5 offensive coordinators in 3 years. They went through 3 head coaches. They went through this, that, and the other. So I think that Vrabel will bring stability there to the Patriots. They may take their lumps for the first, 5, 6, 7 weeks of the season. But I think once the Patriots can get everything lined up, everything up to Vrabel's, code of conduct, that defense will work itself out. And like you said, I think Drake May, could be something special, at least hold that offense together until, they can get all the kinks and everything else worked out. So I'm not too worried about the Patriots, but, I have some Patriots friends who are fans of Patriots too. And, they're difficult people to deal with.
Yeah, always. John, who loses to the Raiders at home like at the beginning of the season? No one ever does that, you know? Oh wait,
At least
the
it wasn't
Ravens
week
did
1.
that last year. Ravens did that in week 2 last year. I'm pretty sure.
Right.
Well, so did the whole country of England way back in the 13 and 1400s. Didn't the Raiders come over from Scandinavia and take them over too?
John, it is Sunday. It is football day. Do not bring in history and other related educational tools. If you would like to talk about the history of football, if you would like to talk about any other sport, I'm with you. But we are not doing education. It's like my poor child that like goes to youth group on Friday night after being in school for like 6 hours at a desk all day, and they decide to do devotion for like an hour and a half of the 2 hours they're there. Let those children run. Good heavens. But I digress. Yeah, so I mean, so far so good. I mean, these games might get right now. I mean, I'm just looking up, so I'm not looking at the screen. But like Denver and Tennessee's in a pretty good shootout, 13-12, real good close game. I mean, the Rams and the Texans, 14-9, like good games so far. I mean, I think the NFL might have got it right the first week, with some of these matchups. I know personally, I'm in a lot of survivor leagues. I know, Mike, you do. I'm not sure if you do them, John, but I know Mike does. And I went heavy on the Eagles, and then also Denver. I did in a couple, did Arizona, and I did the Commanders. So far, Arizona was fine. The Commanders were fine. But I mean, did you have anything different than that, Mike? Anything you were looking at?
Yeah, I actually didn't get into one this year, but I think those are the picks. Philly was a good pick. I think I try to stick with home teams early in the season, particularly, and heavy favorites early in the season. Maybe not the best teams, but just a good heavy home favorite. I think that's where you should start when you start in those survivor leagues. And as you get more of a feel for the teams and how the season goes, then you can maybe get a little cuter as you go. But I think you got to stick to chalk to start the season.
Right. And, I don't like to get into divisional games normally at the beginning of the year. It's just too iffy for me because like you saw Cincinnati and the Browns. I mean, they played all the way down to the end because that kind of stuff can happen. Like you throw out the records a lot of times when you play those games. But like with Philadelphia and Dallas, for me, I just thought even though it was a closer game, I never was nervous the entire game, not once. It just didn't feel like that. And kind of the same thing with the Cardinals and the Saints today, mainly because I just don't have the faith that the Saints are going to be able to put it together. Not that I like the Cardinals that much. I just thought it was a good one to target. Getting a little nervous about the Denver game, though. This is getting a little too close. But no, I mean, that's so far so good. I guess we'll talk about the Ravens here shortly, guys. But we should talk about just the last week that the Orioles gave us. Pretty entertaining.
Let me ask you. I want to ask you both a question about that Saints game, just over the Saints in general. Like, what do you guys think about Kellen Moore? Like, what do you think about him as the head coach there?
I mean, honestly, I think you have to wait till he has a real quarterback to have any type of evaluation on how he handles it. I mean, head coaching wise, you have to have a quarterback to win in this league. So I don't know if he has a quarterback. Now, I don't know as far as the the style of coaching or as far as how he has commanded the locker room, I can't speak as much to that. But coming from, offensive coordinator standpoint, he's done a really good job in the NFL thus far. So I think you have to give him some time. But in the NFL, you don't get much time sometimes. Ask OJ Mayo how that goes. So it really just depends on how much time they're willing to give him to see. Because I don't think they're quarterback of the futures in that locker room right now, personally.
I will agree with that. I don't think the quarterback of the future is there. It's kind of like next man up, John. Whenever you're on a team that wins the Super Bowl or gets to the Super Bowl, has a great year, you're like the next great head coach, or I don't want to say great head coach, but you're the next popular guy to interview for a head coaching job. The Saints were an absolute mess the last few years, and they were in salary cap issues. They still have salary cap problems. They just really they need a total burn down, essentially. So I think he's fine. But when I say that, I agree with Mike too, that it'll be hard to evaluate him, but he might not have that chance, Mike. I think that he might get fired after two years. And then, I mean, like watching him today, Rattler actually was a lot better this year than he was in previous games. So is he a quarterback whisperer like some of those other guys in Jacksonville and Tampa and some of those places? I don't know. But for me, it's okay, John. I can see why they did it. I don't really have an opinion either way. I mean, what are you thinking?
Well, I've always liked his football like intuition, like how he's he came from that Boise State where they were always the small guys playing against the big guys and coming in and doing these things. And what I've seen from him as an offensive coordinator, he's been doing great things, and he's only 37. So he was in that same draft class as RG3 and Kirk Cousins and who else, and Andrew Luck and a few of those other guys. But I think they're going to give him a little bit of a leash. I think they're going to give him at least 3 years because he doesn't have a football team down there that's ready to compete right now. And I think what it's going to take for him is to make sure that he has a good, strong defensive coordinator and a good defensive coaching staff, in the way that like a Brian Billick did in Baltimore. Brian Billick, was an offensive guy, but he had the right defensive guys there to kind of, mesh it all and build it all together. And I think once Kellen Moore gets all that straightened out, he gets a quarterback, or if he can be that quarterback whisperer with Rattler, I think he's going to be good down there. I've been very impressed, though, with what I've seen with him with Dallas and then with the Eagles and then, so on and so forth.
Perfect. Well, I was going to switch it over to the Orioles. John, do I have your permission for that? Or you want to interrupt me again and be totally rude like a big a-hole?
You have my permission, Jason.
How about you, Mike? Anything else you want to mention?
I will not public interrupt you. Go ahead. You're public speaking.
John.
I will not be public interrupting you.
Just kidding. All right. So I did want to, we don't have to spend a whole lot of time with this, but I think the Orioles definitely deserve our praise. Last week, none of us were anywhere close to the predictions for the 6 games. John said 0-6. Mike, you said what? 2-4?
2-4.
2-4. Like I said, I would have probably guessed 1-5 was probably the one I was going to ask to throw my name in there. Oh boy, were we wrong? 5-1. Like
this is what we need to do every week, man. Every week we need to make 0-1-2 wins, and we'll sweep everybody.
Yeah, I mean today I kind of throw out anyway. It's like whatever, like, fine. But overall, like last night, watching them break up the no-hitter in the last inning like that, something was telling me like when the 9th inning came around, I was like, okay. And then when I saw Jackson Holliday get up, I'm like, I don't know. It's like, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen here. Like, and he real good at bat, hit the home run, and then everything started working out. And to me, it was very impressive and a lot of fun, Mike.
I mean, the pregame ceremony and the pageantry, and I really love the video clip that's circulating where it's Palmeiro pushing Ripken out and Al Bumbry being there, and like it's so identical to the moment. And I was at the 21:30 game, and I was sitting underneath the overhang on the first base side. I wasn't at the 21:31, but just to see all that and Cal in his car, kissing babies and signing autographs and shaking hands and doing all that kind of stuff was super cool. And then, they did the first pitch ceremony. John already made fun of Ryan Ripken off air about how he threw a ball when he should have thrown a strike. But I think he might have been a little nervous, John on that pitch. But the big deal to me, it kind of felt like an Andino moment. Would you guys agree? Where it's like it has the potential, depending on how momentum moves beyond this, to change the trajectory of the current trajectory of the franchise. Jason, thoughts?
I am
John?
so glad you mentioned that. Oh, and I'm so glad you mentioned that. We did this last week, and I'm going to make you put your thinking goggles on, whatever the hell you people do these days. Rewind back to when you asked us what we were looking for a month ago and for the end of the season. And I specifically said winning offensive and winning momentum. And what I meant was, and I specifically said, just like the Andino walk-off, if we can have moments, and I didn't really get into specifics about the specific moments of having it, but going in the right direction, start getting wins offensively, start putting things together. And I didn't mention pitching because pitching was already at that point starting to be pretty solid for the most part. They just couldn't put everything together in a bubble, right? But all the batters in your lineup minus Westberg were healthy. So this is a closer look at the lineup you're having. So yeah, for me last night when that happened, Mike, it's the very first thing I thought about. And I'm sorry for my whole tooting my horn moment, but John, this is important. Like momentum in sports, and I've talked about this many times, the hardest thing to do in sports is to stop losing. And by going in this direction and making a push for 500 or close to it, I mean, I think nothing but good things can happen.
Oh, absolutely. And I think as we get that starting pitching back in, I think that's going to just take a lot of the pressure off of the offense, because I always talk about that. You have good starting pitching, and if you know that you're only going to have to score 4 runs to win every game, it's a lot different than knowing that your starting pitching is not that great and you're going to need to come up with 8, 9, 10 runs to win a ball game. But the way that they came back yesterday, they didn't give up, which is kind of a phrase that's used too often, but that they stayed in. Holiday battled to the very end, and then that's the first time that's ever happened in Major League history, and it's probably the last time it's ever going to happen in Major League history too. That the pitcher went 8 2/3 on a no-hitter and ended up losing the game with the home run and everything else. So, but I'm very excited to see how all of this transitions then to next spring. What are we talking about in February? What big bopper have they brought in? What maybe not an ace, but a top end starter have they brought in? And what kind of exciting things, can we talk about with these young guys? Basayo and Beaver building his dams and all the things like that.
Well, and I'm glad you said that about like who would they bring on, because Mike, there was a moment last night in that last inning where I was like, okay, here we are now. Do I have confidence that, as much as I like Kelsar, do I have confidence that he's going to have a good at bat, or, who would look good here, so-and-so that they bring out from somewhere else? But to me, it shows, even though it's just one game and one moment, very good growth for those guys to be able to let this struggling pitcher basically dig a bigger hole for himself every batter that he faced.
No, it was awesome. I think I watched the first 5 innings of the game, and I honestly forgot it was on. I came home. You texted me, Jason. I was watching Michigan Oklahoma college football for a while, and because I put some shekels down on it, so I was curious how the game was going. And then you texted me. I'm like, what? And you know what? For the first 5 innings, I didn't even realize we were being no hit. Honestly, Yamamoto was in complete control and moving the ball around. That's the first time I ever really watched him for a good portion of the game. He's an excellent pitcher. So for the Orioles to hang in there and, obviously get to him finally, it took him 9 innings, but also lost in the shuffle is Trevor Rogers, right? Who probably had his worst outing in a while, but still did enough to keep their team in the game. So they had an opportunity to win. That's what I mean. It's the worst outing he's had in 2 months probably, but he still did enough to keep him in the game. So I'm not sure we should, DFA him right now, but I think he's still good to go as far as rotation is concerned. But you guys are talking about pitching wise. Obviously, we got Bradish back, we have Wells back, but you're losing some guys. Your Tomey had a hit to the ankle today off of a comebacker, and then obviously Dean Kramer had the forearm tightness. Whenever I hear forearm tightness, I can't help but think UCL. They said the imaging was negative, so that's good news. But I'm always wondering in the back of my mind, is that going to flare up and it's going to be a recurring issue? And is that going to be an issue moving into next year?
Right. And for me, that makes zero sense too. And I know Mancelino last night, he said that they're going to see how it is and see if they need to skip him in a start. I mean, I think we're at the point now we can just shut him down if we need to, like no reason. But sometimes that could be bad too. So they'll handle it with kick gloves. We'll go from there. Shigano, as far as that goes, we'll wait and see. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure somebody will get a start that's never pitched before in the majors, probably something like that, John. Which also wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, at this point, we got 3 weeks left in the season, or 2.5 weeks left in the season. It's not worth throwing guys out there and stressing already injured arms or whatever. It's better to just, use the extra September call-ups to kind of fill those spots and to see kind of what we have at AAA to, maybe, let's say we can't get an arm, we can't get what we need for next season, that we can see what's going on, and that, we may be, out, but at least gives you a good, and Mike, this as a high school coach too, right? End of the season, you're not competing for the state championship. Somebody's a little banged up as a junior. It's not worth putting them back out on the field, tear that ACL or something.
Now, and Jason used the term kid gloves. I think that's probably the most appropriate at this point in the year. Any of these guys who have anything that you could do further damage to, it doesn't make much sense to really run them out there at this point. Just let them heal. Like even they talked about Adley coming back. Unless you really need to, I don't see the need for it. Unless he needs it mentally, he's had issues obviously coming back probably too quickly, and that's why he keeps having recurring injury issues. But I don't think any of these guys need to come back here at the end of the season. Just speaking forward, John, it looks like we have Pittsburgh coming in for 3 after an off day tomorrow. And then Toronto, division leading Toronto, on the road at Rogers Center after that on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday coming up. So, Jason, just talking about our predictions for next week, just saying to John, Pittsburgh and Toronto coming up for 6 total games, home for Pittsburgh, away for Toronto. How do you guys think that's going to go down moving into next week?
I would like to predict 4-2. That would be my prediction. It's probably going to be 3-3. So whoever gets that one, congrats. But I'm going to go with 4-2. I think Pittsburgh's not very good. They do have some young pitching. Do we get Skeens at all? Did we draw Skeens? I don't know. I didn't happen to see it. Here, let me see.
I didn't see.
So we have Burrows.
Yeah, I mean, Burrows is somebody I use a little bit in fantasy.
Yes, we have Skeens on Wednesday.
And then they miss Mizorowski. Oh, not Mizorowski. That's for the Brewers. But they miss so Bubba Chandler got lit up today, so they don't have to worry about him much. But they have a couple guys that aren't bad. But I would say, I mean, if they sweep the Pirates, I wouldn't be surprised. But then if they get swept by the Blue Jays, I wouldn't be surprised. So I'm going to go with 4-2. Winning both series, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe sweeping the Pirates and then taking 1 of 2 from the Blue Jays, or 1 of 3 from the Blue Jays. We'll see. John?
I was going to say 3-3. I think they'll take the first 2, and then Skeens will probably shut them down, and then they'll get 1 out of 3 from the Blue Jays. I would have gone with 4-2, but you already took it, Jason. So we'll go with 3-3. We'll go with 3-3. Michael?
Yeah, I mean, you guys already took the good numbers, but I can either go high or low. So I'm going to go high. Why not? Let's go exciting. Let's go 5-1. Let's say we get 3 from Pittsburgh and 2 from Toronto. And we keep this positive momentum rolling here at the end of the year. I'm going to be the optimist. let's say 5-1 over the next 6 games for the O's.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's clear these offensive guys do not want to give up. And they're showing a lot. And a lot of guys are playing for stuff. So we'll see. I mean, it was an exciting week, and we're hoping for that. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys an option. Do we want to get right into the whole reason why we're doing this early and start talking about the Ravens and then end it with a game, or do we want to do a game first?
Let's do a game, and then we'll tell everybody where they can find us. How about that,
Mike?
Jason?
What do you want to do? Mike, I care only what you think. Not
Is it a triple option like Navy has, or is it just a regular option? Let's go with I'll go with John. I don't want any arguments on the air. I think it's just not professional. So let's just go.
All right. Well, why don't before this, John, because I need 2 more. I need to finalize this little game thing. So why don't you tell everybody where they can find us?
Okay, so scrolling on the bottom of our screen, I upgraded our technology here. So you can email us at dadbodscrabcakesandsports@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. You can also find us on X at crabcake_sports. Then on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, Dad Bods, Crab Cakes, and Sports. We're also on every major podcast platform, iHeartMedia, Amazon, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Reach out to us. Also follow, like, and auto download. Really helps us out, moves us up the charts, and spread the good news about sports, dads, crab cakes, and Baltimore around the world.
Fantastic. All right.
Did you guys notice the scrolling bar before I said anything?
Not until you
Yes.
said anything. No, I did not.
Yes, because I saw it go up, and I saw this little smirk on your face, like you were so pleased with yourself. And I was like, John did something on the podcast. This is great. Good job, John.
Outstanding. Well done, John.
Because that way I don't have to try to put movies on here and music and everything else that screwed up the last time we tried something new.
All right. So this game, this might totally bomb. It might not. I'm also going to need you guys to keep your own scores. Okay. Because only today, because I'm not sitting at my desk. But we're going to do a little different of a game. It's called Sunday Fun Day Bonanza. Okay. I just made that up, so I don't really know if it pertains to anything. There is no raising of the hands. There is no, this person said this first. This person said that first. Okay.
That's good.
You each are going to get your own set of questions. And then if you guess wrong, so for instance, the first one is Three Musketeers. So you'll get 3 questions. You have 1 minute to answer those questions. Actually, you have 30 seconds to answer those questions. If you do not answer, if you get one wrong, if you guess and get it wrong, then I'm not going to tell you the answer until after whoever wins between you guys, each little section, you can then steal the other person's question if you choose. Okay. So for instance, I'm going to ask John, like, I don't know, John, you can go first. So your first question is, which MLB player played 31 consecutive games? And you will say, if you don't know the answer, first of all, we'll kick you off the show. But if you do know the answer, you'll give me the answer. You can then say pass. If you guess and get it wrong, then you get no points. If you get it right, you get 1 point. There are no negative points in this one. Okay, I threw a whole lot to you guys. What do you have questions about? Nothing
yet, but I'm sure I'll have one later. Let's just get it going.
Okay, so Mike, you do nothing at this moment, but pay attention to his questions, because if he gets them wrong, then you can steal them later potentially.
Yeah, I am really good at doing nothing. So this is perfect for me so far.
Outstanding.
Like Seinfeld, a show about nothing.
All right, so I'm going to need to do something about a timer here. All right. Mike, do me a favor. Set me a 30-second timer. But do it as soon as I start talking.
All right. Hold on.
John, your first question. And just so you all know, these are Ravens related, all the questions today.
Oh, okay. Thank you. That helps.
Absolutely. So the first one, John, most passing yards in a season by a Ravens quarterback.
Joe Flacco.
Correct. Most receiving yards in a game by a Ravens pass catcher.
Anquan Bolden.
Eh. Most sacks in a season by a Raven.
Terrell Suggs.
Eh. Okay, stop, Mike.
All right,
right,
yes, 7
so-
seconds left. Does that matter?
I might make something up later, but not at the moment.
No.
But I'm glad I knew it. All right.
You're making this game up as we go.
Right, but not for the first time. I'll make it up later. All right, so John, you have 1 point so far. And Mike, it will be your turn. So you do have the ability to steal some of John's questions if you win. So you have to get more than 1 point in this category.
Gotcha.
All right. So John, can you set a 30-second timer for me as soon as I start talking?
Hey, Siri, set a 30-second timer.
You ready, John? All right. Most interceptions in a season by a Raven. Same person did it twice. Same number.
Ed Reed.
Correct. Travis Taylor was a first-round draft pick from this university.
University of Florida.
Correct. Johnny Unitas attended this university.
Louisville.
Correct. So time's up. Mike got 3 points, and you have the opportunity to steal John's questions. So I'm just going to ask you them. You have, since there's 2 questions, you'll have 15 seconds to answer both questions. So let's see. Okay, John, whenever I start talking, you start the timer. Most receiving yards in a game by a Ravens pass catcher.
Oof. Torrey Smith.
Most sacks in a season by a Raven.
Time's up.
If you have an answer, I will accept it.
Judon. I don't know.
No. So the most receiving yards in a game was by Kadre Ishmael, 258 in 1999 against the Steelers. And the most sacks in a season was Elvis Dumerville, 17 that year.
What year was that? 2012?
That year was, I don't know. I didn't write the year down.
Yeah. I did not realize it was that high. That's ridiculous.
All right. So, okay. So Mike got all 3 right. So but you are going to go first anyway. So this is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So this one is called 4-pack. I don't know, fill in the blank, whatever. All right.
Abs.
Mike, for this one, you will have 45 seconds, John. So if you can start the timer when I start speaking. Mike, Mark Clayton went to this university.
Oklahoma.
Correct. Priest Holmes went to this university.
Texas.
Correct. Jarrett Johnson attended this university.
Alabama.
And Chester Taylor attended this university.
Is it UCF? I don't know.
It is not. All right. All finished. So, Mike, you got 3 out of 4. So you have a total of 6 points. John, you have 1 point, but don't worry because you can still get all your questions right and steal Mike's point. All right. Mike, can
why are your eyes so shifty? Keep your hands off the keyboard.
All right, Mike, can you start a 45-second timer?
Yes, I'll let you know. Hold on. Ready? You're good.
John, Ray Rice went to this university.
Rutgers.
Charlie Kohler attended this university.
Michigan.
Dennis Pitta attended this university.
The BYU.
Correct. All right. Time. No, wait. One more.
That was only,
Samar-
only 3.
Stop speaking. Samari Roll attended this university.
University of Miami.
False. All the Rolls went to the same college.
Oh, that was Florida State.
Hey.
Correct.
You're not supposed to say that. I was going to
yeah.
steal that.
Mike was going to steal it, so Mike gets the point anyway.
I was going to say Florida State.
Okay, so wait, there we go. So going forward, so Mike is your winner. Congratulations,
So
Mike.
Chester Taylor. You said, was it Chester Taylor?
Yeah,
You got to win. You got to win to steal points, my friend.
You do. You have to win the category between you guys.
Okay. Chester
Did you
Taylor.
do you know where he went?
Did he go to Grambling?
No, he went to Toledo.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Which, in case you guys are wondering, I had no clue before I looked at these questions. So that makes you feel better.
A little better.
Outstanding. Okay. I could use all the help in the world coming up with different ways for this game, but I wanted to try something a little different. That way everybody had their own chances of, because it's based on knowledge. It shouldn't be based on who raises their hand first and then John saying, it's your turn, you win, and I won, and blah, blah, blah.
I like because your internet speed is slow, Jason. Mike and I always come on first.
Yes. Well, then there you have it. All right. Okay. So the whole reason why we're here, the Baltimore Ravens versus the Buffalo Bills, Sunday Night Football. Very exciting. I will be completely honest with you guys. If the Ravens lose this game tonight, I will be just fine waking up tomorrow morning and moving on with my life, because I still think this is a Super Bowl team, regardless of what happens. As long as we get out of this game without any major injuries. Do I want them to win? Absolutely. Will I be upset if they don't? Sure. But it really is not this must-win game. I think putting all the pressure on. I mean, guys, the sun will come up tomorrow. This team is going to the playoffs, barring any injuries or if something crazy happens. But John, that's how I feel. I don't know. I'll tell you guys before we end here what my prediction is exactly. But no, I mean, it's not that crazy of a thought that if they didn't win, it would be the end of the world.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I'm going to be, like you said, we're going to be disappointed. We're going to be, not happy about it. But it's not like, it's not like we lost to the Saints or, something like that. We lost to a very good football team. And, all we can hope for is that we come out relatively unscathed, and I didn't see the weather forecast, but I think it's just supposed to be, it's not going to be snowing or anything because it's, it's September. So, we should be okay on that end. And I think that's a good thing for us. But no, I'll be fine in the morning. I got to go to work and hear all 8 Steelers fans at work talk about how great Aaron Rodgers is and blah, blah, blah. So that's the only reason we need to win, is I don't want to hear that stuff.
Oh, well, whatever, dude. Again, long season. Mike, what are your thoughts? Are you going to be upset?
60 degrees, 20-mile-per-hour wind gusts potentially. So it's not super crazy. Buffalo like playing there in December or January, but
well, hold on, Mike. I have a very important question, because not everyone really knows the real you. And what happens during these Ravens games is when things start going sideways, my phone starts to blow up.
Oh gosh. So look, I have a flaw. I have a flaw.
He's like, for the love of God, the Ravens are being the Ravens again. Why can't we catch a ball? And we can't. And I was like, well, I guess I'm his therapist. This is fine. Just, Mike, just sit down,
Oh,
don't
tell Jim. Tell Jim that if he needs to talk about the game today, that he's more than welcome to call me.
Side note, Jim's not upset about the games. Jim will be just fine because Jim has very low expectations of his team. However, Mike is upset, and Mike will be upset because Mike has very high expectations. So, Mike, yes. I will allow you to have the floor.
No, I have issues. I have so. I mean, no truer words have been spoken. There's some negativity. Even my children have pointed out, Daddy, why are you yelling at the television? Daddy, please sit down. You're scaring me. So, like, if that's happening, I should probably rein it in a little bit. But I hope that just tells everyone how mild-mannered I am in the other areas of my life. That's probably what it is. So all that's inside of me all the time, it just comes out during a Ravens game, because that's when I can just let things fly. No, but I get frustrated with it's the expectation going into the game, and so you can't be unrealistic with your expectations. Sometimes I am. It's just because you see them getting paid all these millions of dollars and not doing things right. But you know what? They're just an average Joe like you and me, and we make mistakes at our job too. But we're not on national television on Sunday night, and sometimes I have trouble with perspective in that moment. So yes, Jason, I do need a therapist during the game. Yes, Jason, I will be texting you something negative between now and 10 o'clock tonight. So just be ready to talk me off the ledge at some point. If we're down 21-0, just remind me that Lamar Jackson is still a quarterback and we have a chance to win. Now, that being said, go ahead, Jay.
I would like you to text me something positive as well, please. Just don't give me the poopy. No, I don't want the poopy years. I want everything.
Everything. You want it all. Okay, I'll try to remember to keep things balanced in my mind. But I have a question for you guys real quick. If we had to give a one-line headline for tonight's game, just a one-line headline, like tell me what your thought would be for tonight's game.
John, I'll let you go first.
Sorry, I was just looking at the inactives. Mitchell's inactive.
Okay. They probably needed somewhere else. They needed somewhere else.
What the
it's all about the matchups.
So Lowry, Mitchell, Ricard, Vincent, Likely, and Ajabo are all inactive tonight. So does that mean Ali is active?
No, probably because of special teams, but it also means that they probably brought up another tight end.
Well, they did.
They were going to
bring that. Well, I think they left the Army guy on the practice squad and brought up the other guy.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's positions and matchups and who's out. Sometimes your better players in a situation will get bumped out because you need a different position. So, not upset about that. But
I was just a little surprised. I was a little surprised after all the conversation. But Mike, sorry, repeat your question. That was.
No, fine, John. I love it when people don't listen when I'm talking and do other things. It's amazing. So I'm used to it. I will just say that. What is your one-line headline for tonight's game for people watching? One-line headline. What is your thoughts?
Lamar Jackson takes revenge on Josh Allen for taking his MVP last year.
Oh. Wait, you're talking about based on the result of the game, Mike, or before the game?
Yep, you go either way with it. What are we looking for, or what do you think is going to happen, and what's the newspaper going to read tomorrow?
Headline: Baltimore Sun. The true MVP shows his colors.
Oh my! Look at you. Well, they both are MVPs. It's like being president.
The true MVP.
I see. I would say something like "It Begins," or because it is like this is when it starts. Like this is the road, because it is for me. The more and more this goes on, it's Super Bowl or bust at this point, and I think it is for them. And no one's going to tell you that like it's a bad season if they don't make it to the Super Bowl. But for me, it is, because this is the most talented team in a long, long time. So something like that, or like "Let It Begin," Mike. How about that?
I like it.
What about you? You get to give one.
Yeah, I guess I should give one. I would just say something along the lines of, Ravens ground and pound attack, leads them to victory tonight. I think like you said, John, the fact that we're bringing another tight end up, it seems like we just want to stick to our identity. If we can get the lead early and run the ball early, I think we put the Bills in a tough situation. And hopefully, John, your favorite guy, can pin his ears back and maybe start coming after Josh Allen tonight.
Hey, what colors? Josh Allen's going to learn what color the grass is very quickly by Mike.
I don't know, guys. He's pretty good. That's great and all, but I mean, it's going to take more than just one guy. But no, for me, these are two of the top teams in the AFC, not just AFC, but football altogether. And if I'm a Kansas City fan and I'm in that organization, I'm a little nervous about what happened on Friday night, just because even though they have that pedigree and they know how to win, and like you could very carefully get put at the bottom of that division, because that whole division's better. So, and I'd say there were more questions that came out of that game for them. So if I'm a team like Baltimore or Buffalo, it's okay. Like we want to kind of put our feet down because we want that number one seed. So for me, and Josh Allen, man, I don't know. He scares me. He scares me like Tom Brady scared me, like Peyton Manning scared me, like Ben Roethlisberger scares me. He's in that category.
Yeah, to
Kind of.
me, Jason, he's more like Big Ben scary. Like
Mm.
it's just about putting him on the ground. He always finds a way to escape. Um, and he's smart with the football for the most part. At least, he had an early career of turnovers, and then he's kind of really taken care of the football here recently. And they keep putting different weapons all around him, but he continues to flourish. So it's all about him up there. You have James Cook, who finally has his deal, and I'm sure he's happier right now than he was as far as frame of mind going into the season in August. So, they have a pretty good running attack. They've got Josh Allen who can beat you with his legs. That's the part that scares me when the play breaks down. Very much so like Ben Roethlisberger. I think if we can contain him, and keep him from making those big scramble plays or those big run plays to keep the chains moving, I think we should win tonight. But there's always that big old if, because there were a lot of Ravens Steelers games where we were unable to do that, even if we had the better roster. So that's what always kind of scares me in these types of situations. As far as who's going to get the number 1 seed, yeah, I think Kansas City, I wasn't super impressed watching them play the other night. Having Xavier Worthy go out wasn't helpful to their cause either, obviously. Rashee Rice not being there doesn't help their cause. But early on, they're going to have to muddle through some games and pull out some wins, or else they're going to get themselves behind the 8 ball awfully quickly, especially if you look at Buffalo's schedule early on. They do not have a gauntlet to run like the Ravens do.
And I mean, they're more than capable of getting out of that. And I mean, let's not take anything away from the Chargers. I mean, the Chargers, they looked good in a lot of different ways. They looked like Roman wasn't their offensive coordinator. Like they were doing they're taking advantage of what they have, which last year to me, it's like they ran all the time, but they have some talent with that quarterback. They have some talent with some receivers. Even Keenan Allen looked 10 years younger. So I won't take anything away from the Chargers. They have a shot at that division just like Denver does. And it is still early. Like I can't in one thing say that I'm nervous about or that I think the Chiefs are not going to do well when I just got done talking about how divisional games mean like you can't take too much from the divisional games because you're rivals. So with the same breath, I just saw some things to me that would be concerning if I was a Chiefs fan. But as a non-Chiefs fan, I'm very happy. Very happy. Okay, so what matchups are we looking at tonight, John? Is there any matchup out there or any particular players that you are looking forward to seeing or that you think are going to be the keys to this game?
Well, I think the big key is going to be that the Bills secondary is banged up. And can we take advantage of that? The Bills inactives just dropped. And they have one starting cornerback is out. Third string cornerback is out. Then they have a healthy scratch cornerback. So it looks like they're going to be playing their second, fourth, and fifth string cornerbacks. So I think it's going to be okay, what can we do with our wideouts? And can we move the ball down the field through the air to open that run game up? And then what can Charlie Kolar do for us? Can he take that spot of Likely? Can he be that kind of stretch the field tight end? Because they're going to be putting, their better cover linebacker on Andrews. And what kind of things can Kolar do to help further this offense and move and help with Jackson out and moving down the field?
Excellent. John, or not John, Mike, what are you looking at?
Please don't call me John. I'm looking. That's okay. I'm looking at the other side of the ball right now. And like I just said, I have concerns about Josh Allen and kind of keeping him at bay. I look at our linebacking core. Like I know I have total faith in Roquan, even though he didn't have a great, I would say, first half of the season last year. And whoever plays next to him, whether that's Trenton Simpson or Higgins or any of those guys who come in, are they going to be able to spy Josh Allen or keep him in the pocket or not let him get loose for a big run? Like, are they going to tackle with surefire tackling against Cook and not let him have big explosive plays? I think if the Ravens can limit those guys and kind of get off the field on third down in those big situations, that's a huge key to the game today. And that's where I think the game can be won.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think being able to contain, I think the receivers on Buffalo side, because I'm not too impressed by like Buffalo. Buffalo has a good running game, but it's not like their number one thing. Josh Allen is their number one thing. His ability to move around and make plays, right? I mean, a young guy like Coleman, who I know a lot of guys are real high on him this year. I mean, he worries me a little bit. Number one draft pick out there. Shakur is going to be that possession type guy, you know? So for me, just being able to our corners and just seeing what we can do with these guys. Again, it's never been to me like stacking quarterbacks, especially with Josh Allen. I think just containing him and not allowing him to run around the field and getting constant pressure just pushes from the middle of your line to the ends of your line all the way through. I know it doesn't sound like a whole lot, but like I don't really know if the Ravens play their game, they're the more talented roster. So if they play up to their capabilities, we run the football, Lamar throws the football, I think that they're just fine. I mean, I have a couple bets of the day that I want to throw out there that might also kind of play into like the keys of the game. Like I was thinking Derrick Henry for an anytime touchdown, Mark Andrews, anytime touchdown, Lamar Jackson, also an anytime touchdown. So 3 touchdowns just from those guys, and then Josh Allen in a anytime touchdown. Then I was going to do like some like little parlay, maybe $5-10, nothing crazy because God knows what will happen. You know, I had one the other day that would have worked out, but then Worthy gets injured on the very first play of the game, so that was awesome. So, for me, I mean, I'm going to predict. I'll just go first. I'm going to say 24-17 Ravens. And I think there's one field goal in there, obviously, and then the 3 touchdowns I just mentioned. Lamar running one, throwing one to Andrews, and then, and then Henry getting in either a pass or a run. John, what do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I have Henry and Andrews both on a Hard Rock getting touchdowns. I have Lamar and Henry over 100 yards, Lamar over 50 yards, and then the Ravens -7 on a parlay. So
oh boy,
we'll see how that rolls. Nothing major.
I don't like the -7, John. I don't like the -7 at all. And I never like that many points. Not the first week of the season against a good team like that. But no, I get you. Good. I mean, why not? You can't win if you don't play, John.
That's what Mike and I were talking about that before we got on. That, you know what, you put $10 down and you can win 1,000. You could buy a lottery ticket and scratch off and get nothing. So you know what? It's worth putting a few shekels down to try to win a lot.
Yeah,
I didn't win last night.
You can make more money going against the grain, that's for sure, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. Or you bet big on what you think is really going to happen. So I mean, there's different ways to go about it. I think the Ravens win. I predict the Ravens win. I think maybe a few more points than you, Jason. I'm going to go 27-24 on a Tyler Lute field goal to win the game. I think I was listening to some sports talk here in Baltimore, and Mike Popovic was on. He does the weekend shows on 105.7. He wants that game to end on a Tyler Lute field goal either way, because he wants Tyler to be ready for those situations come later in the season. I'm not pleading for that, but I think it would be a nice way to win the game, especially if they're tied and he has a chance to win it and not lose it. I think that would be a good opportunity for him to step up and come through in the situation. I do think Lamar finds pay dirt. I think Derrick Henry hits the end zone. And how great would it be to see Mark Andrews do something really big in the game? But another key to the game is Zay Flowers. I think he's your possession guy. He keeps you moving down the field. And they didn't have him, as Kevin told us last show, in the playoff game in Buffalo last year.
I mean, another sneaky one for everyone. If you want to, I mean, this one probably pays off a lot better if you want to do an anytime touchdown or maybe even the first touchdown. Charlie Kolar in there because all the attention's on the other big guys. Because I think the reason why I like these type of plays to the tight end and to Derrick Henry is because I do think we're going to be up towards the goal line a lot. I think we're going to go down there a lot. Like Buffalo's defense is fine, but it doesn't impress me against our type of offense, you know? And I just realized I told John that I'm not sure about the 7 points, but I just predicted the Ravens to win by 7 points. So there is that.
Kohler's a plus 700.
There you go. Put a
Zaire.
couple dollars down on her.
Here's the other one. Zaire Mitchell. Is it Payton or Padon? The tight end they just pulled up from practice squad. He's at plus 1750.
Yes, that man's not going out for any passes, John. He's going to play fullback / tight end.
Well,
Yeah,
Devontae Walker, Tez Walker's at 2,500, and LeJontay Wester's at 2,500.
John, what is the Ravens defense to score a touchdown?
Let's see. Hamilton is at plus 5,000.
I mean, that's not a horrible bet, honestly. I think.
Well,
they're looking to turn the ball over. That's the big element of John Harbaugh this year. So I think they're going to go out trying to pick off a pass or two.
I mean, doesn't Josh Allen take care of the ball pretty well though? That's the only
six interceptions last year, I believe.
That's not a lot. I mean, I get it, Mike. It's definitely worth it if you're to put $5 down or something or $10, you know.
Yeah.
But or throw it with the Ravens winning, and all of a sudden your parlay looks pretty nice. But yeah. So that's the thing. It's like Lamar and as far as interceptions go, Lamar and Josh Allen don't turn the ball over much. Lamar will turn the ball over, fumbling a little bit, trying to make plays. But yeah, it would be hard for me to think also that Josh Allen, if they get on the goal line with Josh Allen, that he's not running in at least once tonight. It's just, that's what they do. They're not going to go away from that, even as much as they want to take care of him, you know. It's too effective. So what else you guys want to talk about as far as this game? Anything?
Well, I think we should each give our 3 keys to the game.
Oh, Christ, John. I think we just did. They were all over the place.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, I had three keys.
Well, give me more, John. You got more keys. Just talk about them. Type those keys in here.
Okay. So my 3 keys. The first key is keep Josh Allen in the pocket, keep in your passing lanes. Don't let him escape outside, because then that's where we get in trouble. Second is going to be get the run game going. And the third key is going to be to throw the ball down the field. Stretch the banged up defense.
Okay. I have one for you. Or I have 3. Take care of the football. Stay healthy. And what's the third? Hold on to the football. Catch the ball. Please catch the football. Catchable passes. Please catch the ball. I'm talking to all of you. I'm not just talking to Mark Andrews. I'm talking to Zay Flowers. I'm talking to Bateman. I'm talking to Walker. All of you guys. Just catch the ball. That's all. Mike?
Yeah. No, I mean, John already said that containing Josh Allen is a huge key to the game. So I would stick with that. Obviously, winning both lines of scrimmage. Obviously, winning in the trenches is what matters in this game. And then obviously the turnover battle. Jason said holding on to the football. Jason, I know you said to avoid the injury bug is huge for this team. And I don't disagree whatsoever. I even think this team can even withstand an injury here or there. They can't withstand the injury to Lamar. That is what the injury they have to avoid.
I think it's Lamar. I think it's Derrick Henry to an extent now. I mean, do I think that they could correct it and be okay in the long run? Sure. But what it'll do to this team, if he goes down with a season-ending injury or whatever, what it does emotionally, and because they have that dominant approach, and without him, that would take quite a dent in that armor. And then just thinking defensively, if Hamilton goes down, I mean, that's a big cut. These guys that they plan everything around, Mike, that's where it makes me nervous. And I guess I have maybe an honorable mention thing. Don't do something spectacularly dumb to lose the game. No more big moments that Jason's sitting here waiting for the other shoe to drop. Mark Andrews dropping a ball. Zay Flowers fumbling at the goal line. Nothing spectacular. If you're going to lose, just lose. Please, nothing spectacular. These things stick with you. And that's how you go 0-2 to the frickin' after the second week of the season like last year. Because he doesn't get his toe in on the end line. Come on. Nothing spectacular. Win or lose. That's it. Those are your 2 options. I can't take it, Mike. I'm a young fellow, but my heart's old.
Oh my gosh. I love your rants, but you don't want Zay Flowers to stretch the ball out and
No.
fumble it going over the goal. That's not something you want in your life right now.
God, I mean, look, I didn't blame him at the time. I mean, I thought he was making a play, but now I'm blaming him.
Let me go. A couple numbers here. Let's just go and look at some fun numbers. Zay Flowers receiving yards. You think he's over or under 60?
Over.
Under.
Mark Andrews. Let's just give you the same number.
Under.
Under.
Derrick Henry rushing yards. Let's say 85. Over, under.
Over.
Over.
Josh Allen passing touchdowns. Let's set it at 1.5.
I knew you were going to do that.
Under.
I'm going to say under because I think he's going to do some stuff with his legs too.
I think Cook is going to take that.
Lamar Jackson total touchdowns, throwing and running, 2.5. Over, under.
Over.
I'm going to take the over just because I do think that if they win, I'm looking at like 24 points. And I do think he's going to be involved in almost all of those, unless Derrick Henry, I mean, if we're on the goal line 3 times, Mike, and they give the ball to Derrick Henry 3 times, that's fine too. I'll take the loss.
All right, last one. Dalton Kincaid receiving yards, over, under 50.
Under.
I mean, I have him in a couple fantasy leagues, but I think I tend to lead with John here. I don't know. I don't think he didn't pass all over us in the championship game either. And I just don't know if they're going to come out slinging the football like that. I don't know if the middle of the field is our weakness. So no, I'm going to say under.
Do the Ravens force at least 1 turnover in the game?
Over.
No, I'm going to say under. I don't think they turn the ball over. And I might be giving too much credit to these guys.
Do the Ravens turn the ball over at least once in the game?
Under.
John?
Under.
I do say that they will turn the ball over at least one time, Mike. At least once. What about you, John? You ask all these questions.
I'm just asking the questions. I'm going to let John record the answers because I know he's been doing that. So he'll have to go back through the recording, figure out who is yes and no for how much, and then we can talk about it on the next episode.
That'd be fantastic.
That's why we need an intern.
No one likes us. We have no friends. Okay, so listen up.
New Heights, they have intern Brandon. Intern Brandon does all the stuff that Jason and Travis aren't good at. So we need to find our own intern.
They also signed millions of dollars worth of contracts. So intern Brandon's also getting paid.
New $100 million.
That's just fantastic.
Are any of you engaged to Taylor Swift? Just checking.
Not on purpose. Not on purpose. Maybe at one point in my life, I just don't remember.
I mean, you hear a lot of her voice in your house, I'm sure, Jason.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah. No. Yeah. So, okay. So next show, we will definitely dive some more into all of, we'll recap the game, whatnot. We will also go over some of our fantasy implications after the first week going into the second week. There was no time for that tonight. Also, we'll update you with the Orioles, etc. Maybe we'll have some more fun surprises. But I think that's it for us tonight, fellas. You guys enjoy the game. I'm very excited. I'm ready for football.
I will work on being positive at some point this evening.
I expect to hear from you, please.
Gentlemen, and this is crab cakes too. So what are we eating and drinking tonight for the game? Mike, start with you.
Question.
So right now I just had a little snack of some sea salt, pita, crackers with some pepperoni and cheese. That was my dinner for the evening.
You sound like me.
I hope to dig into the fridge and find some type of leftover to jam into my pie hole at some point during the game. And I'm drinking in my my blender bottle. I have a little bit of Bullet bourbon and Pepsi. That's where I went with the drink tonight.
When did you start drinking bourbon?
You know,
I'm
the
so proud.
golf guys turned me on to it, and I actually have tried a bunch of them, and I like almost every single thing I try. So that's bad, probably.
I am so proud of you. Oh, I knew it.
Don't
What a
tear up,
full
buddy.
circle moment. I am. All right. What am I eating and drinking? I don't know. If I do decide to drink, it'll be probably tequila and club soda. I don't know about the eating thing. I might have passed that window for the day. I don't know, John. What about you?
I will probably. I found this new Amsterdam lemon vodka that tastes delicious in iced tea and in Coke. So I'll probably do like a Arnold Palmer with New Amsterdam lemon vodka. But I'm out of the eating window too, Jason. So I had some Hooters frozen wings from Publix earlier
Oh, my.
today. They were delicious. Oh, they're so good.
Hooters
So
wings
Hooters
are not
sauce.
good.
People don't go to Hooters for the wings, John. You got the frozen wings from Hooters. I think you
I
missed
like
out
the
on
sauce,
something.
man. The sauce is delicious.
Said no one. Said no one. Oh my gosh, that's
All right,
fantastic.
I'm taking this puppy home. Let's wrap this up. So that's going to do it for tonight's Dad Bods, Crab Cakes, and Sports. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hope you enjoy the Ravens game this evening. Please don't forget to subscribe to us on Red Circle, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you get your free podcasts. And while you're at it, don't forget to leave us that 5-star review. It really helps us out as we spread the good word about Baltimore sports far and wide. Be sure to follow us on social media as John has scrolling on the bottom of our screen if you're watching at dadbods, crab cakes and sports at gmail.com or at dadbods, crab cakes and sports on Facebook. Crab cake _ sports. John, what is that? X? Yeah. Help me out, buddy.
Crab cake _ sports.
Perfect. And if you reach out to us, we'll try to answer your questions and we'll maybe even reference your name here online. So let's keep rocking those dad bods, eating those crab cakes, and make sure you're online for that Ravens game tonight. Let's rock and roll.
Adios. Go Ravens.
Sayonara. Let's go, Ravens.